In this video, we're going to talk about equipment. The equipment is over here, right in this area. You can see you can pretty much put as much equipment here as you want. And so we have the item name, quantity, damage, pierce rating, armor value, and then an action drop-down bar, which we'll get to in a minute. The first thing you'll notice is, well, it's very large. You can add pretty much as much equipment as you want. And if you want to add more equipment, you scroll to the bottom, or it will just be at the bottom if you only have a few items. You type your name here and click either this add button or hit enter. It'll automatically add your equipment in to the bottom of the list and give you a quantity of 1, which you can change however you want. You cannot order these by drag and drop like you can with your skills, but what you can do is you can color code the entries. You see, as Edward has done up here. You can use whatever color scheme you want. So it looks like, you know, I don't know how he's doing it, because this is green and this is red and they're both artifacts. So he's obviously not ordering it that way, but who knows how he thinks. Anyway, in your action bar over here, you have got a number of actions you can do. You can delete the item and it will ask you for confirmation. And then here's your color coding: black, red, blue, green, and gray. And if you click on one of those, it'll immediately turn that color, but it won't put it in the order it's supposed to be in until you refresh your screen. And then down here, you have the option to give that item to any other player. And right now, this is not limited by the genre of the game. That's going to be coming in the future. So here's a list of all the characters that exist with my online character system. And so you can, you have to kind of hunt for the name to find it, and then you can give it to them. That doesn't happen terribly often, but it does happen. If the quantity is more than 1, it will ask you how many you want to give. And you just select it and it gives them that way. Now, you'll notice a couple of things over here on the side. The first is just a minus sign. And don't pay attention to the numbers that pop up when you hover. I'm just using those for debugging purposes. But the minus sign will decrease the quantity of that item by 1. So if you have, say we go over here to Steampunk Supers and we have people who have got, ooh, that's a bug. Okay, I switch characters real quick there. Say that we have someone with a number of arrows. So this guy has 25 ash arrows. If you're keeping track of ammunition and stuff like that you spend frequently, instead of having to highlight it and type in a new value, you can just hit minus here and it will decrease it by 1. So that's just an easier way to keep track of ammo and stuff that you spend relatively quickly. I don't have a plus button, but you don't use that as often. So the next thing is this little paragraph symbol here. That will bring up notes on that particular piece of equipment. So you can add, pretty much as many notes as you want for that piece of equipment, and it'll save that in the database as well. Little bit buggy, so again, kind of beware with that. Again, you can add as many items as you need. Gold, if it's treasure, if it's something, monetary that you spend, you put it down here. Same kind of thing. You have the same actions. You don't have a minus button or paragraph button because, it's a commodity. They're all the same. And then quantity. And obviously you can give stuff away there. Armor's the same way, except armor has slightly different attributes. You've got, this is supposed to be black mammoth leather. So I'll go ahead and fix that for him. And he's also got elven chain. And here is armor value, absorption, location, and action. Right now, all you can do with armor is delete it. So if you need to give an item to somebody, and you're only giving them, if there's only one of them, and you're giving the only one, so say you want to give this Sith, which is an artifact, so I doubt you'd do that, or Sight and Sword, or that kind of thing, and it only has one, I highly recommend that you give with this menu here instead of saying deleting it from yourself and then having them add it, because if you give it this way, then all of the notes here will go with it. Multiple quantities, that doesn't quite work that way. That's not a bug, it was just a design flaw on my part that I'm going to fix, to where if you give multiple quantities, then the notes will go with it, but for right now it doesn't. Except when it comes to treasure. If you're going to give gold, just delete it from yours and have them add it to theirs, because what will happen is if you give gold to someone and it'll tell you, ask you how many, say you give 10,000 away, it'll create a new item in their treasure list. So if they already have gold listed, they'll have another gold listed and have a quantity of whatever it is you gave them. So that's pretty much the equipment system here on the character sheets in a nutshell.